There are moments in life when everything seems normal, peaceful, almost perfect, and then one sharp voice cuts straight through the calm and turns the whole room upside down. That was exactly what happened that afternoon. I'm Julia, and I never imagined I would stand in the middle of a beautifully decorated baby shower watching my sister-in-law completely unravel over something as innocent as my children simply being helpful. But there we were, surrounded by soft pastel balloons, expensive centerpieces, and 30 stunned guests, when Amanda's voice rang out like a siren. Get your kids out of here. They're stealing all the attention. The cheerful chatter abruptly died. Emma and Lily, my sweet daughters 8 and 6, froze like statues beside the gift table, little hands still gently holding wrapped presents they had carefully arranged just moments earlier. Their happy smiles faded into confusion.
They had
been asked to help by my mother-in-law and were quietly doing exactly that, unaware that their kindness was about to spark an eruption. Amanda's face was bright red, her voice shaking as she jabbed a finger toward my girls. I mean it, Julia. This is my day, my baby shower, and your perfect little princesses are making everything about them. Everyone keeps talking about how cute they are, how polite they are, how helpful they are. I can't take it anymore. I glanced at my daughter's simple sundresses, neatly braided curls, soft eyes unsure of what they had done. They hadn't done anything except be themselves. They were only helping the same way they always did at family gatherings. The room felt tight, like all the air had been sucked out. Amanda, I said quietly as I stepped between her and my girls. They're just helping with the gifts. That's all. That's all? She repeated in a harsh laugh. Did you hear Mrs. Peterson going on about how well-mannered they are? And Mrs. Roberts asking if they take etiquette classes? They're already making my future baby look bad. Her words were so ridiculous that, in any other moment, I might have laughed. But this wasn't funny. Emma and Lily shrank behind me, eyes wide with hurt, and something inside me tightened. My mother-in-law Sarah hurried toward Amanda. Mandy, sweetheart, you're overreacting. The girls were only, don't tell me I'm being ridiculous, Amanda snapped. This is exactly what Julia does. Bringing those perfect little dolls to every event, making everyone else look bad. Well, not today. This is my special day. A tiny hand slipped into mine, Lily's. Her eyes were shining with tears she was trying hard not to spill. That was my breaking point. Amanda could throw as many angry storms at me as she wanted, but making my daughter cry was a line she should never have crossed. Girls, I whispered softly, go get your coats. We're leaving. Yes, get out. Amanda shouted. Take your little show ponies with you. A wave of murmurs rolled through the room. Guests exchanged shocked glances. Amanda's friends stared at one another, embarrassed. Sarah was pale with mortification. But the moment was beyond saving. As we headed for the door, Emma placed the tiny gift bag she'd been carrying on the side table. We made something for the baby, Aunt Amanda, she said gently. I hope your baby likes it. The quiet sincerity in her voice made several guests wipe their eyes. Even Amanda paused, taken aback for a fleeting second, before tightening her expression again. In the car, I turned to face my children, my heart aching for them. I'm so proud of how you handled that. Mommy, Lily whispered, did we do something wrong? No, sweetheart, I said, brushing her cheek. Sometimes grown-ups let their feelings get too big and forget how to act. This wasn't about you. Emma, ever perceptive, murmured, Aunt Amanda was mad because people were being nice to us instead of just talking about her baby. Something like that, I said gently. But it still wasn't right. As I drove, my phone buzzed nonstop. Messages from guests filled with apologies, support, disbelief. Mrs. Peterson was especially upset. Such grace your girls showed, she wrote. Please tell them they're welcome at any of our community events. More messages followed, each one lifting the weight from my chest. But it was Emma's thoughtful voice from the back seat that surprised me. Mom, I have an idea. What if instead of helping with the nursery like we planned, we do something else for the baby? Lily nodded eagerly beside her. Their kindness amazed me. Even after the way Amanda treated them, they wanted to do something good. Something that wasn't about attention or proving anything, just pure generosity. The next morning, Emma and Lily were already at the kitchen. Table surrounded by markers, colored paper, and craft supplies. They were whispering excitedly, covering their work when I walked in. My phone buzzed again and again. Amanda's meltdown was spreading fast through our small community. Mrs. Roberts even called, voice sharp with disapproval. "We left right after you did, Julia. That behavior toward children was unacceptable." Later that morning, Emma finally revealed their plan. They wanted to make a welcome baby book for their future cousin filled with drawings, kid-friendly advice, sweet notes, and encouraging messages. But they didn't want it to be just from them. They wanted help from their classmates, friends, and anyone who wanted to join. I hesitated at first, worried it would stir more drama. But one look at their hopeful faces and the innocence behind their idea told me they truly wanted to spread kindness. When Emma mentioned the idea at school, the project exploded with excitement. Classmates joined in, then their parents, then teachers. Mrs. Peterson offered to help through her charity network, saying, "Let the community show what real kindness looks like." Contributions started pouring in. Kids created drawings and notes. The local bookstore volunteered to bind the finished book. The art teacher organized pages. Even the school principal wrote a letter about the importance of family. My mother-in-law called with updates. "Your sister-in-law is crying off and on," she said. "She says she feels judged, compared, misunderstood. But she's the one comparing herself." Sarah paused. "The girl's gift bag is still sitting unopened on her table." My heart sank for Amanda a little. "The girls are working on something special for the baby," I said softly. "I hope she accepts it when it's finished." "You're telling me they're still doing this after how she treated them?" Sarah whispered. "It was their idea," I said, watching Emma and Lily sort through piles of colorful pages. "They said every baby deserves to feel welcomed." Sarah grew quiet. "Those girls, they're extraordinary." The project continued to grow. A local photographer offered to capture photos of every child contributing. The craft store donated extra supplies. Even residents at the retirement home participated, writing warm letters of wisdom for the baby. One evening, Lily looked up at me seriously. "Mom, do you think Aunt Amanda will be mad again?" "Lots of people are helping." I hugged her close. "Honey, this isn't about Aunt Amanda anymore. This is about welcoming your new cousin with love. Sometimes the best thing we can do is answer anger with kindness and hope it touches someone's heart." Emma nodded thoughtfully. "And even if she gets mad, the baby will know people care." As the project neared the final stages, word reached Amanda through family members. According to Sarah, her reaction wasn't anger this time, just a strange, heavy quiet, no yelling. No blaming. No dramatic messages. Just silence. And then, slowly, she finally walked over to the side table and opened the original little gift bag from the shower, finding the handmade matching bracelets girls had crafted for her and Phoebe. What we didn't know then was that Amanda's silence wasn't just contemplation, it was the calm before a storm none of us saw coming. The girls' project was about to reveal something that would change our family dynamics forever and force Amanda to confront the real reason behind her behavior, as wept the finishing touches on the community baby book. I couldn't help but feel proud of my daughters. They had turned a moment of rejection into an opportunity to bring people together, proving that sometimes the best revenge isn't revenge at all, it's showing gracing the face of unkindness. But nothing could prepare us for what happened when we finally delivered the finished project to Amanda's house. The finished book was beautiful, a thick, professionally bound volume filled with colorful artwork, heartfelt messages, and photographs. From across the community, we arrived at Amanda's house. My mother-in-law was already there. Having insisted on being present for the delivery, Emma carried the book while Lily held a small basket of baby essentials. Both girls, unusually quiet, approached the door before we could knock. Amanda opened it, her eyes red and puffy. "I saw you pull up," she said softly, so different from her shower outburst that I almost didn't recognize her voice. Come in the living room was exactly as Swede left it after. The shower decorations still hanging limply from the walls, but something was different spread across the coffee table, dozens of photos and newspaper clippings. "I need to show you something," Amanda said, gesturing to the table after what happened. "Finally opened your girl's gift, those matching bracelets." She touched her wristwear. She was wearing one of them. They made me remember the photos Shuida young. Amanda with another little girl both wearing similar friendship reciprocals. They were beaming. In every shot clearly inseparable. That's Miss Sister. Amanda's voice cracked. Selfie sheddied when we were kids in a car. Excitancy was perfect, just like your girls, always kind, always thinking of others. Everyone loved her. Emma and Lily moved closer, looking at the photos with genuine interest. When I saw how every owner responded to your daughters at the shore, Amanda continued, wiping her eyes. It brought everything back. Sophie weighs exactly like them at that age, and I was the difficult sister, the one who could never measure up. Understanding dawned on me all this time. Amanda's hostility hadn't really been about my daughters. They had simply triggered her wounds she'd never dealt with. Few whole time I've been pregnant, she admitted. I've been terrified. What if me baby is like I was? What if everyone compares them to your girls the way they used to compare me to Sophie? Emma stepped forward, still holding the community book, but Aunt Amanda buying different. Isn't bad. Look at what we Medias. Amanda opened the book, her hands trembling. She found not just children's art work, but a community's worth of love and acceptance. Each page carried messages about uniqueness, about how every baby is special in their own way. Asked everyone to write about what makes them different. Lily explained proudly, because that's what makes people interesting. Amanda's tears fell onto the pages as she read message after message. The local librarian wrote about buying she as a child but finding her voice through books. A retired teacher shared how she overcame a learning disability to help others struggling students. Evan, a school principal, contributed a story about being the difficult child who grew up to nurture other challenging kids. Emma said, with the wisdom online children seem to possess, your baby doesn't have to be like anyone else. They just have to be themselves. Amanda broke down completely, then pulling both girls into a hug. I'm so sorry, she sobbed. I've been so awful to you both. I was so caught up in my own past that I couldn't see what amazing nieces I had. My mother-in-law, who had been quietly watching, finally spoke up. Maybe this baby is your chance to heal. Mandy, to give them what you needed, acceptance for exactly who they are. Over the next hour, Amanda shared more about Sophie, showing the girls pictures and telling stories for the first time. I saw her not as my difficult sister-in-law, but as someone new who carried deep pain for far too long. As we prepared to leave, Amanda stopped at us. Wait, she said, reaching for something behind the couch. It was a bag from an expensive baby boutique. I got these last week. I was too ashamed to give them to you. Inside were two best cousin Evert shirts sized perfectly for Emma and Lily. I thought maybe we could start over, Amanda asked hesitantly. I'd really like my baby to have cousins like you. The girls immediately put on their shirts, beaming with the kind of forgiveness that only children can offer. So freely as we drove home, I realized that sometimes the biggest gifts come wrapped in the hardest packages. My daughter's response to unkindness hadn't it only helped heal old wounds, but had also brought our community together in unexpected ways. 3 months later, when Amanda's daughter was born, she named her Stuffy. The community baby book sits in a place of honor in the nursery, a reminder that every child is perfect exactly as they are, and that sometimes the very things that trigger our deepest pains can also lead to our greatest healing.